What does China's new DeepSeek AI mean for the AI market, and how does this affect how you should invest? That's going to be the subject for this video. And oh my goodness, I cannot be more bullish on the specific stock that I've been mentioning all the freaking time, other than SoFi, not SoFi. So I'll talk about SoFi later in a different video. My phone only has like enough battery or enough memory for like 8 minutes of film, so this better be fast. Anyways, so with DeepSeek, basically the entire problem, why the entire market just collapsed today, is basically because America, right, the US, has been spending so much money on AI infrastructure, on powering AI, on all these things, like upwards of like hundreds of billions of dollars. And you have DeepSeek, who says, hey, we spent $5.6 million on making this AI, and it's not bad, and it's comparable to OpenAI. OpenAI has a valuation, or is valued at $100 billion market cap. And then you have this Chinese company, $5.6 million. They create something similar to ChatGPT without NVIDIA chips. So basically, that's saying that, okay, NVIDIA, your expensive chips are not that useful, right? We can last on just your cheaper chips. All the AI companies, I don't know what the hell you're doing, but you're wasting a crap ton of money, and they were able to spend $5.6 million, which is like 5% of what you guys are spending. So what the hell are you guys doing? And that's why the market collapsed, because you have all these American companies just throwing, like, burning money, burning cash on trying to train the AI. So what do you invest in if you still want to figure out how to invest in DeepSeek, right? What should you do, right? Should you invest in AI companies, or are they just overvalued pieces of crap that are just like not like you're just burning cash, right? So that might be dangerous. Should you invest in the shovel play, right? Should you invest in chips? Well, you just realize that DeepSeek, they're not even using like they're outwardly stating, right? They're not using NVIDIA chips, and even if they are, they're not using that many, right? They're only $5.6 million. Even if they did somehow get like black market NVIDIA Blackwell or whatever, only $5.6 million. They're not even using that many chips if they have NVIDIA chips, right? So don't invest in, okay, so you can't invest in semiconductors. What about energy, right? Well, if they only needed $5.6 million and not that much energy, right? Then they don't need, like, even if a lot more people now have access to creating their own AI models, the energy cost for every person will be so much lower, then you can't really tell whether or not the overall consumption of energy will be higher because there's just more people using it, or if it'll be lower because a lot of people are using it, but it costs so much less, or you're using so much less energy. So what do you invest in? My boss is here. Be right back. What's up? I'm back. This is what I think. So, can invest. It's dangerous to invest in actual AI companies because apparently China's just doing it way faster, way cheaper, and we're just throwing money out and burning it. It's hard to invest in energy because you don't know if the energy costs are going to be outweighed by the amount of by more people actually using the energy, right? So you don't know where this balance beam is going to end up. So that's difficult, right? Semiconductors, well, apparently you don't need the latest and greatest semiconductor or latest and greatest computer chip because, I mean, here you have this Chinese company that's using $5.6 million and they're making similar progress to OpenAI. Oh, so what do? Data, right? Data. Spire Global. I'm just screaming this out. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily have to be Spire Global, but just a company that has proprietary or very like important data and very useful data, right? When Spire Global has like all this global data, right? And this, okay, again, it doesn't have to be Spire Global. I'm just a fanboy for that type of company in general, right? But companies that are sitting on really, really good and important and useful data that has to be constantly fed to AI to AI models, right? So you need data to train the model. You also need data for the model to create a result, right? For example, weather data. Yeah, you can train the data off of hundreds of years of data, but you want to be able to predict the future, right? So you need to keep the data of the present day. You need the immediate data in order to predict the future. Hello, hello. So I equate it to this, something like this. So if you say that computer chips are the shovel play of the gold rush, right? I said this in a previous video. What just happened with DeepSeek is that people found out a different way to use the shovel so that they could shovel out just as much. It's as if let's say you had this NVIDIA made the best shovel ever, right? But then we only knew how to shovel like an idiot, right? And then someone found out a better way to shovel, and then now they're able to use the old shovels you were able to use the old shovels to shovel in the same rate that people used to use. Okay, weird analogy, but basically, NVIDIA keeps making better and better shovels, right? But we're not using any shovel to its greatest potential, and that DeepSeek just found a better way to use shovels, right? That's why they're able to make so much progress with DeepSeek for so much fewer cash, right? So if you're now able to optimize the use case of every shovel, then you can use more people have access to worse shovels, right? So then when you use a worse shovel, but then you are able to optimize your use of that worse shovel, then more people have access to gold, right? Gold in this case being an AI model or being able to create AI. Now that everyone has access to using like shovels, regardless of how good or bad it is, now you just need land to dig for gold. What is the analogy for land in the shovel play? It's data, because you're mining. You're not mining data, but like you're using data in order to create this AI model. Right? Am I missing something? Data. No one. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be Spark Global, but like any company that's just sitting on really, really important, useful, relevant data is going to be magical, right? Especially if you're sitting especially if you're an AI company that's holding really, really important data. For example, I think that Microsoft's acquisition of GitHub is so big for them. I'm not invested in Microsoft, but imagine if GitHub just waited until like 2025 to sell themselves. Imagine all the companies that would want that data, which is basically just the code base of just a crap ton of really useful, really good code, right? They could have just sold their services to AI models to train them, and they would make a killing. And in my opinion, Microsoft has that edge. I'm not invested in Microsoft, but like anyone that's just sitting on really good data, and they can maybe even sell the data. Of course, I don't think Microsoft's going to sell like the code base used for AI training, but if they had something similar that's just so like important or so like sought after in order to train AI models, you'd be laughing all the way to the bank. And I think that Spire Global, again, I keep bringing up Spire Global, but like their weather data, their environment data, all this data. And they just have to sell anyone that wants to create any type of AI that has to do with the environment, that has to do with security, that has to do with like aviation, any type of anything, right? Hello. That's it. So just me raving again about Spy Global, but DeepSeek really does show you that DeepSeek basically shows is the start of the democratization. I don't even know if that's the right word, but like the democratization of AI, of creating AI. And when more people have access to these tools to create AI, all you need is data now, right? Because you have the means to train, you just don't have the data to train it on. And that's why I think data is so important in this kind of like next stage of the AI craze, I guess, when people already bought all their tools or they have sufficient like good enough tools, they just need to train and they just need to use those tools. That's my opinion. I don't know. Have a good day.